Go to the computer. Good morning, everybody. Happy November, 4th today. We've got all sorts of happenings going on around town. Most of which we all know tomorrow is election day. Anybody excited about that? I'm excited to have it over, right? Like, holy cow, can we move on with business as usual, please? Oh, Lordy, but before that, we have our wonderful open house with our amazing open house panel right here. Woo, woo, woo. So you know what I'm gonna do? I'm going to actually see, can you do me a favor? Can you put my laptop right over there? See if it'll do that. Because that way you can kind of maybe see everybody. See if that'll work. Can you just put it, see if it'll, with all my wires and paraphernalia. If this thing doesn't, let's see if
It goes as far as here.
Oh, fabulous. Can everybody? Oh,
That's why you need to wear the
6 days a week, girls. So that's all right.
Perfect.
Oh, that was so funny. Hey, that could go on.
I fell down my garage stairs before I came here.
But did you guys see how seamless?
Yeah,
You did, it was awesome.
It's because I do the down up so
Yeah,
And I did it in heels,
it was
guys.
very athletic.
Oh my
Yes.
God.
It's all those workouts. Okay. So as I was saying, oh, you know what, Cindy, I need you to do one other thing. Hi, everyone. I need you to keep hitting admit to people that keep coming on. So just to make you work, you're gonna have to maybe sit on the other side. I'm sorry. You're gonna have to hit it.
Where is it?
See up on the right hand side?
Ah, I got it.
You just hit, hit admit, or just admit all. Yeah, you're gonna have to work now. You didn't
No
know that.
worries.
She's like, what? Yeah, maybe just sit over.
I'm flexible. I got this.
Sure, see ya. You too can be flexible, just like me. Okay. Yeah, there you have it. Okay, excellent. Okay, now you guys got to see it up close and personal. That was super fun. All right, so here we are today talking about all sorts of fun things, going viral videos. Actually, I had a very funny open house video where one of my advisors was, filming herself as she's walking backwards and she fell into the coffee table, which was glass. Her legs went way in the air, actually broke the glass. She was fine, thank goodness. But I will tell you that the video went viral. Yes, it sure did. And I bet she bought a new coffee table for the coffee. Yeah, that was a special moment. That thing lived on for years. That sure did. So yeah, this is all the things that can make your open house go viral. I don't recommend that one. But so today we're talking about open house successes. And with me, I have some fabulous advisors. I have Miss Linda O'Grady. How long? Oh, can you hit admit again? Because I'm gonna keep you working. Miss Linda O'Grady has been with the builders, so she's my kind of experience, my kind of lady. How many years were you with the builders?
10 years the last time, and before that I was with US Home 3 years.
So 13 years of builder experience. And we torture you, don't we? We make you put out how many signs when you have people?
1 million signs.
1 million.
All the way up and down the highways, both directions, coming into the community, directionals when you get inside. Yeah, big flags in the front, yes.
We're gonna talk about that. And we call them snipe signs, don't we? Because we're sniping people. That's exactly. We don't call them open house signs. So if you ever hear me talk, I call them snipe signs because we're sniping people. That's exactly. And so I can't help it, but that's our lingo. So we're gonna have more conversation about that. Then we have Miss Lisa Campire. Lisa, she comes from the, we gotta admit some more people, sorry, Lisa. She comes to us from the general side, but she was on a team where she was, told that she had to go out there and do open houses.
I was doing probably 3 a week my first year.
3 a week. And how many customers would you say on average you get from an open house?
I mean, it's varied by house and by market,
Of
but
course.
recently I'm getting 12 to 15 in the busy, like during the crazy years, it was 20 plus always.
20 plus.
And not only that, but like I get a lot out of the prep. I have to say, I like the prep for open houses.
She likes to prep. That's why she's up here. She's a freak like us.
I'm weird.
This is the freak table. Good freakiness, good freakiness. And then we have Miss Casey Barker, all the way from California, where they are a bunch of freaks. She has escaped them. How many years in real estate?
11.
11 years.
Mm-hmm.
How many open houses do you like to typically do? Especially over there, you probably did tons of them.
I did tons of them. I built my business off of open houses. The same thing, I did about 3, sometimes 4 a week.
3, 4 weeks. And how many people did you typically get through your open house?
Same thing, depends on the market, because we've had highs and lows. Anywhere from 2.
Uh-huh. Wow, that's a
Right
lot.
now, I'd say about 12 to 15.
Here in this market, 12 to
Yeah,
15.
right now, because I've been doing a lot recently. And then, in very busy markets, 60 to 100, very busy.
60 to 100. Can you hit it again? I'm sorry. Cindy's like, why did I volunteer for this job?
Happy to do it.
Now, I don't have on the panel here, but I have another awesome open house star in the back of the room, Mr. Keith Koch. Woo! Now, he is a specialty open house man. He is in the Villages. And in the Villages, you got some weird rules. You can't do this typical open house, but how many people do you get through an open house?
Weekend, we did 4 open houses. They had 25 people on Saturday and 25 people on Sunday.
We gotta love the Villages because we got a lot of people with a lot of time in their hands.
If you put out signs, Community Watch will take them.
Yes, they have community watch, but let's talk about signs for a brief second. So thank you for bringing that up. Community watch will take them. But guess what? So will code enforcement guys.
Right.
Snipe signs, as I like to call them, open house signs, whatever you might want to call them. They're illegal. Always. They will never be allowed. You can never get a permit for them. And in a community, in reality, in not the Villages, right? Because that's a unique beast of a community. But in most communities, you're fine. Like, unless there's other builders, like we builders, we steal each other's, like it's a game. But and, you know, when you have a big sign, we try to put the other sign in front of each other's signs. That's just fun. That's just builder fun, right?
Yeah.
But in general world, right, we don't really take each other's signs. Pretty much if you have signs in the community, they're safe. And if you have Premier Sotheby's pretty blue signs, yeah, they're fine in a community because that's a branding opportunity, right? Let's let the neighbors see as many Premier Sotheby's signs because we want them to know we're here in force, right? That's fine. Outside of the community, please do not put a Premier Sotheby's sign. There's 2 reasons, guys. Number 1, we don't want code enforcement to know that we're doing illegal things. Because it is illegal to put a sign outside of a community because you will not have a permit for that, number 1. And absolutely, they have every right to pick them up because they are not permit. They will not give you a permit because guess what a snipe sign or an open house sign does? It detracts you when you're driving. That's why we want them. We want you to stop and go, I want to go there. Is that dangerous? No. Do we care? No, we want them to come our way, right? That's the whole point of a snipe sign. But the other problem with our Premier Sotheby's signs are, what color are they, guys?
Blue.
Navy blue. Does that detract you when you're driving? Oh, horrible. You don't notice them. What sign color do you guys think? Okay, so what do we got? We got pretty pink.
It's been altered over the time period.
Okay.
But it's very,
Now, here's the only problem with this one. I love it because it's pretty pink and you know, as I sit here in a pretty pink color, I like it. But here's my problem with this open house sign. Great branding, says your name, right? But here's the problem. I know exactly who's breaking code enforcement right here. So if I had this outside of a community, I could call you, I could say, now, I'm not gonna say don't do it. I would probably put this in an intersection where a car was sitting there so they could call you. And I would take my chances with code enforcement because you are not a broker and you can play it down really easy. As a broker, I can't do that because they will come and I'm held to a higher standard, right? As the regional director for a builder, they would constantly find me and I would get in trouble and get fined. I paid a lot of fines. Happily. I didn't care. Yes, what is that?
Just blue,
Blue,
just open house.
white and blue. Okay. My favorite color is, does anybody know my favorite color for an open house sign?
Yellow.
Yellow and ugly.
Wow.
Ugly, bright yellow. Cause that is so obvious, you can't help but see it, it pops out against everything. Fluorescent, disgusting, beautiful, love it. With the open house signs, this way, that way. They're cheap and they're obvious. Those are gorgeous. Love them. Do I like red?
No.
Red says stop.
Yeah.
Red says stop, green says go, but green isn't really a great one. So really the ugly yellow ones are my absolute favorites, guys. So where are some great places to get signs made? Lisa, where'd you get these made?
I think it's called signsonthecheap.com.
Signsonthecheap.com. I love the sound of that. How much were they?
It's been over a year. I bought 250, so I got like, well.
She's my kind of gal, guys. 250.
I have to, when I was on the team and we had other people do our open houses, they would borrow our signs because they didn't have their own. And our signs had our team phone number on them, and guess who got all their leads? That's why I put my phone up. That was the first
Yeah,
thing I bought when
there
I
you
left my team.
Yeah. So again, I'm
Carrie?
okay with these.
It was
Listen, if
cheap,
you want to
like
use these,
$2 a
I'm not gonna say don't use this. Pink is good because I would look at this. Now, a guy, how do you guys feel about this?
I think it's cool. Hey, Carrie,
Feeling on this? And would you feel one way or this over a yellow one?
No.
Mine used to be yellow,
Yellow, what are they now?
blue,
Yeah, no, no, they all premiere?
they are.
Okay, we got some ugly yellow ones coming your way. Okay. But
hey,
I like-
Carrie,
and I
can
like
I,
that name, if you're at a stop, I get an
Right.
intersection. Okay, how many do you have?
I have like 25.
25, time to order more.
Yeah.
How many do you have?
40.
40, okay, and you have 250. All right, how many do you have, Keith?
Probably less than 10.
Less than, well, you're in the
Yeah.
zone.
Yeah,
All right.
can't use a lot, so.
I'm a fan of between 30 and 50 when you're sniping it out for an open house, right? Yeah, well, it depends where the location is.
Ordered 40 yellow ugly.
Yeah.
They get delivered today.
Yeah, where'd you get them?
Amazon, they were
How much?
$59 for 4 yellow. They're just arrows.
$59, just arrows,
Yep.
perfect. Nothing wrong with that.
They just say open house and the big ugly yellow arrows.
I love it. Beautiful. Yes,
For a lot of communities that don't allow signs in them,
uh-huh.
I actually have open house magnets I put on my car, so my car's sitting in the driveway, it says open house on both sides. If
Uh-huh.
I'm technically not putting a sign there, they can't say no, and it still lets people know where the open house is.
Okay, what I really love, no, the big flag
Flags.
flag.
I have one of those that says
So,
open.
yes.
I had.
14 feet.
14 feet feather flags, you got it?
I
I do.
Where they go, yeah, I have one of those too, I got
No,
cheap for that.
They're cheap.
They're worth it.
Amazon.
Yup, cheap,
Amazon, how much?
$15.
Love it. Can you guys share all this?
Yeah.
Let's send an email, send it all to me. I will compile it and we will
Yep.
send it to the team. Those feather flags are the best.
Yeah.
Right.
And if you go buy them for 15 bucks in case they get taken, they are awesome.
So do you like which one better?
The yellow with the red
In the middle.
in the middle. Mhm.
If you in a community does not allow any sign, if you do open house that day, can you put the feather flag on your property that day? They
Yes,
still take it down?
they can't go on the property.
Oh, so, okay.
Yeah.
That's good.
You put the big old feather flag as high as you can go, right
Careful
on the
sprinkler
property.
lines.
Yeah, good point. Watch out for sprinklers. But yeah, they can't go on the property. They're not allowed to touch the property. The property owner can put it on there. Now, could HOA complain to the property owner? Yeah. And if they're really annoying, can they complain that day? Yeah, but
Can they, like, if I have open house on Sunday, can they put a sign today, open house on Sunday, like
No.
7 days before?
No.
Even on their property,
no,
You don't.
just that day, so you only have.
yeah.
They've
that
had people
day.
coming all.
Yeah, you wanna do it the day of.
That's it.
And then
And
it
another
becomes,
thing they have is a
people don't pay
flag
attention.
Amazon that has magnets that you can put on the front door, if you have a condo or something where you can't have signs. out on the
Uh-huh, a
wall.
magnet flag. Yeah, it's
Yeah,
cute.
it's just like a flag that says open house here with magnets.
I like it. If it sticks to the door, depends on the door. If you have a glass door, it won't work.
They also come with suction cups.
Okay.
You can stick them in and out, it's either magnets or suction cups.
Like it. So these things need to be shared. Love those. Okay. The other thing, guys. Keith does this. When you are having an open house, right, most of you are putting it on social media, correct? How many of you are creating an event though?
Yeah, you name it something.
And you
Yeah.
create the event, you say the event is happening next Saturday, and you tell them that they're gonna be a giveaway, and you let them pre-register.
No.
No.
So I email it to all the realtors in that area in my database.
Oh, I don't want to do it to the realtor.
No.
I mean, you could send it to them, but do you do the giveaway? And let people pre-register?
Depends.
Okay, so here's a good one. This is something, we used to do it here. If you have, and it really works well with a theme. Well, how many of you guys do themed, open houses? Okay, tell me about some themes you had.
I can't think of a name, but yeah, they
But
always
you
name
name
it
it
something. You just name it something and you send out the invite as something. Yeah, so they know there's, you know, so it's some catchy name and you put like what's gonna be happening there.
Right, so give me an example of what you've done.
So one thing that we did is a theme where it would be like martinis and, you know, and then we'd invite people in the neighborhood. And one of the things that we did that I thought was pretty interesting is we would give coupons to people in the neighborhood. If they invited a friend and they want to make a neighbor, they could give this friend a $2,500 certificate that they would get that for closing costs or fine tax or something else. So it's like they're giving their friend something.
That's very cute. Okay, like that. What about you, Lisa?
I did one right around early December that was a toy drive.
Uh-huh.
So when I did the door knocking, the neighbors were much more receptive to talk to me, and then even neighbors that weren't planning to buy or sell came later, so I got to talk to them 2 or 3 times. Develop a relationship, because the goal is to get the other sellers for me, not.
Absolutely. So let's talk about the door knocking.
Uh-huh.
When you're door knocking, you door knock for the open house.
Yeah. I tried-
Anybody else do anything different with the door knocking? Yes,
I door
Ariana.
knock a lot. I door knock and I know it's not bad.
See it.
I don't.
I door knock.
I hate it. Very evil. And I tell people like, hey, this is your chance to pick your neighbors.
Right.
And that always gets me in the door. And I also have my card and I'm like, hey, I'm gonna be hosting an open house. You know, if you'd like to see people over here, would you let me know? I make them feel involved
Right.
and then have some buy-in.
Okay, so here's a new one, and it shouldn't be new if you've been with me, but this is what I believe a door knock should be. Take it for what it's worth. You have an open house. Let's say your open house is 12 to 3. You have a VIP event 11 to 12. It's separate from the riffraff of the open house. You door knock for the VIP event, not the open house. You send out invitations to the VIP event, not the open house. When you door knock, first you send out a week before the invitation to the VIP event to the neighbors. Then you door knock, let's say the event is on Sunday or Saturday. You're gonna door knock either the Thursday or the Friday. I would do it 2 days before. You're going to door knock on that day to invite them to the VIP event. When you come by, you have the invitation and you also bring a neighborhood report. Okay, and you're inviting them to a very private event. If they would like to bring someone, they're more than welcome to. If they'd like to pick their neighbor, it is a private showing that no one else, and that's where you have the good food. It's different food, it's specialty, and whatever's left over, you leave it for the open house. Because frankly, how do I feel about buyers? Exactly. We're doing this for sellers, guys, right? But we don't tell them that. They think we're doing it. We're not. This is the beautiful thing. It's the VIP event where it's at. Yes.
How are you gonna get neighbor's email?
Remind.
Or title companies.
I heard that. I keep
Tomorrow.
hearing that. but-
Tomorrow?
No,
Tomorrow what?
tomorrow's the last day for Redmond.
Where did you hear that from?
It's on, Stellar.
Well, good thing I'm on the broker advisory council and I have my first meeting on Thursday, so to be continued. I will get back to you on
They
that.
got rid of that in Cloud CMA.
I know Cloud CMA, which is why we've come out with Moxie. So we will be preparing that and doing trainings on Moxie. But remind, I'm surprised that we,
Yeah. Tomorrow, they're posting the cost for it.
Uh-huh.
And after tomorrow, it's a subscription service.
if that's the case, then they're going to be changing the cost for MLS then. Starting in March, because we talked about that. So, but I will know more as of Thursday, because I have my first broker advisory council meeting. But we did talk about, I will tell you, but it was supposed to go to the board and I never heard what happened. Bringing down what we offered included and then letting people choose, pick and choose. But we were going to obviously have a lower price for the basic subscription. And then you could pick and choose what you wanted to add. Because why would everybody want to pay for Remind and Cloud CMA and all these things if they're not using it, right? Because those things are very expensive. And then that way you would get a price at your MLS, and then you pay for only the things you chose to use. Things that will always be included would be things like obviously Realist, iMath, anything that had to do with the things you need to do business, right? It would include contracts, which we don't need, things of that nature, but things like the ancillary services, those would be things that you could pick and choose. I did not hear that it was passed. Super. I will know more on Thursday. So there's that. Okay, so back to this, there are title companies that can give us this information as well. So, we can talk more about that offline after this. And they can give us their emails as well as their phone numbers and their equity, same kinds of things. But if it's gonna end tomorrow, I would go online and download everything you can.
Yeah.
Okay, additionally, I wouldn't email them anyway, the invite. It's a mailed invite. It's a actual card that you're sending to them because it's a community and you want them to receive an invitation via mail. So you're printing out the invitation from here and you're going to send it to them and mail them an invite. Should look like a real invitation to an event. If you're emailing it, it doesn't seem quite so important, does it?
They just delete it.
And nobody's gonna look at it. So the VIP event is an actual mailed invitation. And I just realized that's why you said the email thing. So, sorry, I was a little slow on the take. I haven't finished my coffee. So, yes. Okay, now, some of the things that I would talk about with the open house in terms of what you're gonna do about giveaways and things like that, you wanna register. So maybe it's like Thanksgiving, right? And maybe you're gonna do a turkey giveaway. Maybe you're gonna do a whole Thanksgiving dinner giveaway. Maybe you're gonna make it something related to the season, right? And you have your partners, maybe it's your title partner, maybe it's your whoever, who's gonna help you with that giveaway. You're gonna have people pre-register, but they have to be there during the day to actually win. Now, they can though, obviously pre-register to make sure that they have a chance to win. But they have to be there, so you're gonna have a double registry. And where's the open house registry, guys? Does anybody know?
I've seen it, I haven't used
Here you go. It is in your Propel, your app. You have an open house registry right on your app. So when you go in here, open house registry, you click on it. Now, of course, I have no listings, no nothing, so I don't have one, but you can do it right from here. And you have two things. One, you can keep it out on an iPad or something. They put in the information, they can scan it, they can see the pictures, they can give you their information right there, and then it goes right into your hub. So now you have their contact information, you know where they came from, you know all the property information that they saw. It's awesome. And then you have it real time, so you can pull the drawing because you can see right here. So you can go ahead and pull it from here and say, okay, let's see who it is. And you can say, oh, here it is, and pull the person live on You're gonna do that also. You're gonna say a time that you're gonna pull the person and you're gonna pull a drawing of who wins the free Thanksgiving dinner or whatever it is. They don't have to be present to win because they may not be there the whole day, but they had to have come and registered again live.
Sorry, what app is that?
Hmm?
What app is that?
Propel. Everybody with me?
Mhm.
Does that make sense? Now, another fun thing to do is to have things, I've seen, this has been real good, that you hide things throughout the house that they have to come see, like, there's 5 places in the room that, in the house that you need them to go see, and they have to mark those 5 things, so you can have, I've seen like passports that they had to do, they have to mark, we've done that with them so many times.
Yeah.
They have to mark those 5 things and then drop it in the fishbowl or whatever at the end, and then you pull those are fun.
Yeah.
And it makes people go through the house. Those are great in open houses. People love that. That's a great way. The other great thing, guys, Santa's coming, Christmas is coming, holidays are coming. We have had, everybody, how many people of you guys have ring lights? A lot of people, I have one in the Lake Nona office. You could put a ring, if you have some, maybe you'll put a little Christmas tree out or put a little holiday thing out, right? And you can have them take some pictures of themselves right there and have them email it to themselves. And do a fun little Thanksgiving ring background. You could do whatever you want. That is a great way. People love, if you go to any event where they have ring lights and they're taking pictures of themselves and they email it to themselves, now you just got their email. Because they're taking pictures of themselves and sending it back. That's a cheap app to get. You put your little iPad right there or some kind of tablet. You put the app on it and then they go ahead and take their picture, send it back. It's awesome. And you have that set up. That's a great fun thing for people to do at an open house. They love it. And it's a great way to get people's contact information.
I've done the jelly beans in the jar.
Oh, that's
So
okay,
you
that's a good one too.
Family more.
Okay, another great one, guys. If you know a photographer, Mr. Mike,
Offer a photo.
have photos taken.
I've done them before I entered into this side.
Uh-huh.
I would have, especially during COVID, it's not so much in the house, but they would have me there to provide updated headshots for anybody.
I would only do it at the VIP events. Maybe not necessarily for the open house, but for the VIP event. If you have people coming, that's a great way to do it. So they have to RSVP because they can get their family holiday shot at the VIP event. Mhm.
Does this really only apply to like a high price tickets property?
You're not gonna do it in a $500,000 home if you
Okay.
want to take pictures, right? Well, it
Well,
depends.
that's
Yeah.
If the photographer's your dad, Alicia might do it, but
Maybe you can.
But, yeah, it just depends. You obviously make it, can you let someone else in who's waiting? If the price is gonna be applicable based upon, obviously, the price point of the place, right? So you're gonna work on it that way. But yeah, for sure, these are all great things based upon the price point of the property.
The other thing we did as builders, you probably did this too, is during the holiday season, you wrap the doors like a present.
Yes,
They make a
okay,
little cross and put a big bow on it, so that way people know it's available for sale, even when you don't have the open house, just by passing it.
that is a great thing.
But the for sale side, in
No.
bulk?
No, just a big bow, like, hey, this house
I like
is
it's a present.
is a present.
Oh,
Wrap the front door, just put a crossbow and then put a big bow in the middle.
And then the Dollar Tree out.
Yeah,
Yeah,
just put like a,
Like when you get a new car and they put a bow on it, you just have a bow on it.
but you just wrap it, yeah, just like
You
it's
wrap
like,
it.
yeah, you
Like
wrap
it's
that
like
at the front, yeah.
We used to do that all the time.
And you can get big bows on Amazon, just order big bows.
just wrap the whole house.
Yeah.
It's nice.
Or
Something doesn't pop up in a message. In the group chat.
And then remember, all the neighbors are watching how you are marketing that property.
Yes, keep in mind, we had, I will share a story. So when I first started, it was probably my first week on the job with Premier Sotheby's. I was in Lake Nona and I got a call in it was a referral for a listing in Oxford Moor. I had to go through 4 advisors. No one would take it. I was like, this is Windermere. This is a $950,000 property at that time. Nobody would take that. They're like, yeah, I don't work that area. Needless to say, I obviously started recruiting part of the office. So I was like, wow. So I got to an advisor who had not sold a property yet. She'd only worked with buyers. She'd never done a listing. And I said, listen, I know Windermere. I have been from Windermere for years. I know everything about Windermere. I will go with you. Will you take this? She's like, yeah. I said, listen, I'm gonna work all the comps. There was a lot of builders at that time, right? I'm gonna pull up the builders comps and pull everything up. Just call her back and let her know that you and your broker will be coming. She's like, so she calls the seller while I'm pulling up comps and doing all this stuff. And she gets off the phone. I said, great, when are we going? Oh, we're not. I'm like, oh my God, you lost it already. Jeez, I picked the wrong person. I didn't have many people to pick at that time. She said, no, we already got it. They will only work with Premier Sotheby's and we're the only office, so there's no one else. It's like, oh my God, it's amazing. That was easy. That's when I realized the power of the brand, by the way. I was like, wow, I love being Sotheby's. This is great. So long story short, this advisor did open houses every weekend. She hosted broker open, she did open houses. Because she did, she got another listing in the same community, 1.3. She sold them both. That was the beginning of her career. She became a $25 million producer with us because of that start. It starts with open houses because the other people in the community see how hard you're working. That is exactly why. They don't care sometimes that, how many homes you've sold or what the price point, they see what you're doing. So it's very important to let people see how hard you work and really the quality of the type of open houses and VIP events and things that you're doing, and that you do things differently. Most people hold open houses to get buyers for themselves, not for that property. Let's be honest. We are trying to sell the property, right? So that's difference. It's not just trying to get a buyer to sell another property to. So not that we won't work with another buyer on another property, but that's not really what our goal is, right? We're trying to sell the property. Okay, so what are some of the other things, Casey, that you've done? So Casey, share with us your strategy for getting 15 to 20 people through the door or more lately.
Put out signs.
So how do you put your signs up? Let's talk about that, because that's the number one thing. I will say, when I've heard people say, yeah, I had no one through my open house. How many signs did you put out? It's my first question. They'll say, oh, about 5. Okay, I knew that's the first problem.
Well, I start by, I drive around and then I go to the house and then I see what's the busiest cross street nearby. And then I bring them from the busy cross street into the property and then a little bit from the other side into the property. But I always start putting my signs out furthest away.
Yes.
And work my way to the house. Otherwise, if you do a reverse order, you have all these angry people at the door.
Yes.
So they don't know which house it is until I finish.
Yes, very good.
So.
Excellent job. Lisa, what about you?
I do the same strategy and I go to Dollar Tree and get pinwheels too to help. But yeah, I work my way back and depending on, I bring 50 signs and I almost always use all of them.
Yeah.
But if it's a busy intersection, I'll put 20 signs at one corner, especially if there's a red light, because then when they're stopped, they're getting my phone number.
Absolutely.
And I've had people come to me weeks after an open house at my son's dentist appointment. The dental office manager said, are you a realtor? Thought it was because I had my laptop, and I was like, she's like, no, I saw your open house signs in my neighborhood, and did you sell that house? And I'm like, why do you need to sell your house? Anyway, contact me, but
That's
she
great.
remembered me from my signs.
Great.
Well, the offshoot of it also is when you're working and you're putting out your signs and you're videotaping it and you're putting it on Facebook.
Yeah.
I'm newer to Florida, so I don't have as many sales here compared to California. But all my California friends, they think I've listed all these homes.
Yeah.
So they're like, you're killing it in Florida. Because they think every home I've done is a house I listed, I brought the buyer to. It's their assumption. I'm not gonna correct them.
Yeah, right.
So I know, thanks. That's a good way for when you're like, you don't have much going on to look like you do. So.
Good point. Excellent. Okay, Linda?
I do exactly what Casey does. Yeah, exactly. So, but if there's 2 entrances to the community, I start at the busy intersections on both sides and bring them all the way in. Same thing.
I would say the only thing I do different is I like to go from a shopping plaza.
If possible, and that's the same thing of a busy.
Yeah. I'll stop in Publix and accidentally forget these in baskets. Like the closest market, or if there's somebody, if you mind if I leave these at your counter or right around the corner, there's gonna be people that might want to stop by.
Yeah, I like to snipe all the way around the plaza. Have you guys sniped the plazas before? Because that is like really important, I think, to snipe the plazas.
Not with signs, but I with fire.
Oh, I snipe the signs. They take them though.
Yeah.
Yeah.
They always take them. That's why you need extra, because they will take your signs at the plaza.
Yeah.
It always gets people. The other thing that I will say at the builder, and if anybody's heard me talk about this, if it's an expensive home and you really want to get people there, sign people dressed in costume do very well. The
I'm
sign
not
people.
dressed in costume.
No, not you, you hired them. My Spidey climbed by Bronson's Landing, he would climb that fence over there. He brought so many people to Bronson's Landing. He was the best. But if you know somebody, especially a kid, like a high schooler, you get them in costume. Yes, but they have to be into it, right? But you can pay them. That's a good one.
Yeah, that's.
Yeah, with a nice big sign.
Yeah.
Are there issues with the sign, like permits or problems with the?
Yeah, I'm gonna tell you, you know, they hated Spidey because he climbed the sign, so the cops would stop often, because people would stop and wanna take pictures with them. Cindy, can you let someone else in? But, yeah, for sure. But it didn't matter, I don't care, I got so much traffic off Spidey, he was worth every penny. But we hired him through a sign company. Oh, they went away. They said,
You gotta wiggle the mouse because your computer's going.
my computer's what?
Nope.
No, I think they left. So,
Hey, Carrie.
for sure, I would say, we would hire them through companies. There are people, there are companies that would have, but a lot of those sign people are bad. You see them on the thing just holding the sign, they're terrible. But the people on costume are great. So you need somebody who's committed. But if you had like a high schooler or something, like we did hire in Port Orange, just a girl who did it. I didn't think she was very good, but she wasn't through a company. So it just depends on where they are. As long as they're not in someone else's property, you're pretty okay. But yeah, you know.
Hey,
Sorry.
Carrie. Hey, Carrie.
I'm gonna kill you.
My workout for the day.
Yeah. The other thing is, I will say, really important too. Let's talk about when customer comes in. Do you just leave them? You know, making sure they register, or do you show them through the house? Let's talk about that.
Show them through the house,
Thank you, Miss Linda.
even upstairs, walking upstairs.
Show them through the home. What about you, Lisa?
I don't necessarily give the tour. I kind of feel them out. I do make them sign in. I tell them the seller's request, but they don't always give you the correct information, but I start a conversation to find out what their motivation is, if they're just a neighbor or if they're really serious. Ask them, you know, how long have you been looking? Is this the neighborhood you like? What kind of home are you looking for? That kind of stuff. Schools, any kind of information, so that you have a rapport. And then I say, would you like to look around? Show you around. I have the actual, I don't print out flyers about the property because then they take them and don't talk to me. So I offer to text them the link to the information, so they always have it, and that's how I get their real phone. Because then all of a sudden the phone number on the sheet is not the same as the one when they want the details. And I use the MLS app to send them just the link.
And also text them the property video is a good idea,
Yeah.
because as soon as that puts a reminder.
Yeah, and then they always
Like,
like it.
yeah.
What about you, Casey?
I greet them. I put my sign-in sheets on clipboards so they can take it with them, and they're more willing usually to fill out as they walk around and bring back to me. I tried once upon a time to do the iPad thing and I wasn't very successful. I mean, I could try again.
Sometimes
Well, do you have
sometimes the
giveaways?
connection doesn't work.
I have it, and I probably should.
I have
I haven't done giveaways. And then I usually give them a flyer and then I'll
Can you
typically,
hear me now?
I'll give them like.
Yep, we can hear you now.
to look
Hold
for.
on.
like, oh, make sure you check out, you know, something this direction and something far away this direction. That way they're like looking for it as they walk around. If I'm not busy, I'll typically walk them around a bit and explain and show out features and ask them questions of what they're doing, why they're here, you know, where they're going, what's their interests, if they got their motivation.
Carrie, Teresa has a question on there for you.
Teresa, what's your question? Teresa, unmute and tell us your
Hold
question.
on, hold on. I was running through the house.
All right.
One thing I can say about Casey and Lisa, which I love them doing open houses for me, is right after the open house, I get this very detailed text message from both of them with feedback and so much information that I'm able to share with my sellers, which I just wanted to mention that is fantastic.
Oh,
I
thank
think that-
you.
Thank you. It's important.
I think it's important because you need to say something back.
Because your
Right.
sellers are asking.
Especially if it's overpriced, it's been sitting, like it gives you some feedback of the community of what you should do next.
Absolutely. Great point. Thank you, Teresa. That's awesome. You know, another thing I think which is great too, if you had another, it's great if you have multiple giveaways, because if you say, put some feedback in here for the seller and register to get a, you know, like a gift card or something from Starbucks for an entry to win a gift card from, you know, Starbucks or something like that, that you could electronically send after the open house, I bet you would get people to fill in feedback. for
That's a
the
good idea.
seller.
Amazon, you can do that too, where you just text them a gift card.
Yeah, but you don't have to give it to anybody. You're registering to win, but if they would fill in feedback for the seller. You know, the thing is, guys, everybody likes to win free stuff. Never underestimate the value of people wanting to win something for free. And we have plenty of vendors, we're gonna see more tonight, that would be happy to support you in your endeavors, especially for open houses. And what's a $25 gift card or a $15 gift card or something like that? For them to, you know, and then how much does that mean for your seller, right? To get that feedback from all of those people who went. And it doesn't matter if they have a realtor or they don't. This is direct for the seller. So you collect all that data, that's awesome. It's from the actual buyers who came through. Think about that. That is totally worth it.
And don't forget that you, as the open house agent or advisor, I want your feedback too. So if I say, do you have feedback? I want your opinion.
Yeah.
Because if you were to bring a buyer there, sometimes I want you to tell me it's overpriced because I need other advisors to chime in so that my
Right.
sellers don't think it's just me.
Oh, absolutely.
So don't be afraid to be extremely honest.
And you are.
I
Yeah.
am, but I know like other
Feedback, yeah.
people try to be
Good
nice
feedback,
about my
yeah.
listing. I'm like, no, I want you to be very honest.
Well, you know, when you think about it, when you said, please, fill in you know, some information of your thoughts, how you feel, if you have any suggestions or your true feedback for the seller, that could be from anybody. That if there's an agent who comes through, if it's a buyer who comes through, it could be for anybody.
Whoever walks in.
And register to, you know, by doing that, you're registering to win a gift card from Amazon or wherever, right? Who's not gonna do that?
That's the power of a broker's open. It also is showing the other potential sellers in the neighborhood what you're doing. So they're still, you know, looking through the blinds and seeing the activity, but it does help you get that sincere feedback that you need for a seller from your peers. It also helps bond you to your peers, because we all know that besides amongst ourselves in Sotheby's, but amongst our greater realtor community, that it really is a networking thing. It really, you know, did make a difference when we were all having multiple offers, that we were acquainted with somebody or not. So brokers opens are powerful too.
We use a lot of brokers opens. I feel like we already do that, but I feel like a lot of times sellers aren't getting the feedback from the actual buyers. And I think for them, they think a lot more about what the buyers are saying than even what the other agents are saying. Because they want to know, why aren't the buyers putting in offers? What are the?
But that's why the listing agent needs to educate their seller to understand that if the buyer's agent is the gatekeeper, we have to win over the buyer's agent.
In an open house, a lot of times you just have buyers coming through.
Without
And so I think it's really important, and that's like, you know, and really that's information that's not been gated or guarded by any advisor. So sometimes they don't believe, a lot of times, oh, sure, that's what the agent's saying. They don't believe it, but if you get it straight from the horse's mouth, I think it's really powerful information. So I think we should be doing that at an open house as well.
That's a good idea.
Yeah, so yeah, no, we love brokers opens, but I don't think that's something we're using in an actual open house, and I think it would go a long way for sure. So that's another thing we need to think about. Again, another thing I love is if you're doing themed open houses, you can really join up with other people doing an open house. So let's say you're doing open houses like golf course open houses. So you can join up with 3 people who are doing the same open house on golf courses, for example. And you can make it super fun, where you can do this also virtually, as well as in person. So you can say, hey, Lisa's today over in, Bay Hill. Casey today is over in, Lake Nona Golf and Country Club. Isn't that nice? And we have today, you're over in Isleworth. Why not put us in good communities, right? So we can go ahead, even if, let's say, the sellers in those communities would not allow an open house. And this is my point, because oftentimes we have really high-end homes where the sellers would say, I don't want an open house. Why couldn't we do virtual open houses in those types of communities? This is my point. We could do a virtual open house where the theme of that open house might be golf front, lakefront, luxury something, right? Luxury lifestyle living or something. And we could do, like we used to do with the office. So we get 3 homes, 4 homes, whatever that is, and we host it as a combined effort. It goes on everybody's Facebook page at the same time. We could also put it, however many people want to do it, whoever can host it. You want me to host, you want to host it, whoever hosts it, but you all do it through Zoom. The key is you have to go live through Zoom. That's the easiest way, because then because if you go through Facebook, you only get 2 people, right? But if you go live through Zoom, which that's why it's the easiest way to do it. If you go live through Zoom, you can add as many people as you want. Like, see how many people we have on this thing right now? That's how it could be, but it's being hosted through Facebook. So this thing is now on Facebook. Everybody's watching it. And then, okay, great. So now it's, okay, you're showing the top 5 things about this home that make it unique. What, the cool thing about the golf front or whatever. Now you're showing the 5 things that make your home unique or whatever. So you're not just touring the home, you're showing something specific and unique because it's a theme, right? And I think that the sellers from those homes would be very open to that type of an open house because it's a virtual only. We're not allowing people to walk through. And now, because this is a community that has perhaps obviously a golf course, and it would have a clubhouse, and it would have, right? We could have other advisors on our team, someone in the clubhouse, someone at the golf course. And then we could take it over to you, Ariana, you're at the golf course, take it over to you, Flavia, you're at the, and we could make it a whole group thing where we're actually showing the lifestyle for these communities. I think that is the power of a team. And we could really showcase these homes in such a way that that's a powerful open house without people actually walking through the door.
We
did something like that for our virtual open house. Remember, we had the open house weekends that we're still doing once a month, but we did it where we walked through the homes. But I think that this would be better if we showcase the community, because remember, we're a lifestyle company. Why wouldn't we show the lifestyle of these communities? If we have high-end communities, which we do, we showcase many lifestyle homes. They are more than just the actual home itself. They have beautiful, country club living. They have beautiful, different parts of the home. And for you to walk through that home, you don't have time. So if we have multiple people in different areas and we're on a Zoom, the other person would be like, okay, Casey, show us the pool. Okay, Lisa, go ahead and show us the golf course now. Okay, what do you got over there, Linda, with the in the country club right now? or whatever, the spot, exactly. That is the way to really showcase the
Getting it.
lifestyle, don't you think?
And I did something like that when I was at Ruby Lake. We
Uh-huh.
actually started out and we talked, and then we narrated a virtual flyover. So we had someone
Right.
come, and they did like the amenity center, they did the pool area, they showed all the homes available. So we were speaking, then we go to the flyover, then we showed some more pictures and talk, and then we sent it to another person in another area.
And the power of those are not even really who's watching it live. Because now you're reposting those. That's the power of those. It's the repost. Because during COVID, a lot of people are like, oh my God, these virtual open houses, they're gonna be the death of me. But they got so much from the repost. Even though that they felt like it was a total nightmare when they were actually doing them. But really, it was the repost. They got a lot from that. So I really think we should reconsider, because a lot of people are just like, oh, forget it, my price point. Especially you've done a lot of stuff with your price point. You're like, oh, they'll never do an open house. But you never thought about the virtual.
Right, that's true. I never thought about that.
Yeah. And if you would have said, I know, of course, you wouldn't want to do an open house, but why don't we do a virtual?
It's good, yeah.
Yeah, I think they would be completely open to that.
Yeah.
Because why wouldn't they want to have the exposure?
Makes sense. And it lives on.
And it lives on. So I think that's one other thing that we're not thinking of, guys. We think of an open house in such a very, shallow kind of, okay, it's for this price point only, and we're just trying to get buyers through. Why? Right? Why? The whole point of an open house is exposure. It's for showcasing specific features. It's for showcasing the lifestyle of the property. Why wouldn't we want to do that in our best properties? I mean, we've got some of the nicest listings out there. If you guys look at our listings, we've got, I think, 30 all over $1 million. I mean, some beautiful properties we have. But we're not doing anything to showcase a lot of those because, oh, yeah, they never allow that, but why wouldn't they? Right? So, and for example, we've got some stuff up in Ocala. Do I have Ocala people on? I can't tell if there's any Ocala people on. See, I thought I had some Ocala person on there. I don't know. Oh, Maddie, you're on there. Maddie, do you have any high-end stuff in Ocala right now?
I do. Well, it's in Denellen.
Perfect. We
And,
can totally do that in Denellen. Because Denellen, we could be in Windermere, we could be in Lake Nona. It doesn't matter. That's the beauty of it. Talk about the power of the brand.
True.
And that's the thing. We could even be then telling the sellers, great, guess what? We'd love to have you participate with an all premier, Lake Central Florida open house. How would you feel about that? It's virtual.
So how do you go about, because in Ocala it's not as, you have pockets like this is a farm, it's not like it's in a subdivision. Do you send out at that point postcards ahead of time? I know it's a virtual thing, but how do you go about with more rural areas?
So if it's virtual only, then that would be something that we would be doing on virtual. We would be setting up an event virtually, inviting people virtually. But again, I think the power of that will be the repost. And then you can boost it, right?
Gotcha.
You'll have the actual video from it. But if you're gonna do like a VIP event, what's your price point of that one?
It's $6.99.
$6.99. Yeah, remember the one you have for 1.6?
Yes.
That was so big and by itself, like you wouldn't have hosted a VIP event there, right?
Correct. No.
So that would have been the same thing. See what I'm saying? So, but like for Stacy's, she's got that 8.5. I don't think she's on right now. We could totally do it with Stacy's too, while we did yours. Do you still have that 8.5 on? Or did we sell it? So, do you have anything good out?
Most is like 1.4.
Well, we could do it with the 1.4. Lisa, do you have that 1.8? God help us.
1.7.
1.7. We could do it with
We're
that
doing
one.
it, brokers open. From today, everybody.
But we could also do a virtual open house.
We
with
could.
you. Yeah, I think we should
It'd be a
all
good one.
focus on doing a virtual open house, maybe like 2 weeks before Thanksgiving. Even a week before Thanksgiving, it's virtual, who cares? What do you guys think? Anybody in? Keith, you got anything to add to that? Yes, you do.
Like the
3
Thursday
point
before?
something that's never gonna sell if we don't do something crazy with it?
Yeah, we're gonna have to do something crazy. but
Well, hello.
We're having pictures done on Wednesday.
So we could probably include that. See, you gotta open your mouth. Keith. Okay. I know. I open that thing.
One, but if people have multiple ones, I'd be happy to host one of theirs open.
Well, that's great because we will have some stuff. So Carol has one too, Maderos. She's got a really nice one. So we'll reach out to all the people who have some really nice listings that will be overpriced and over the price. Over the price that they wouldn't want to have a public one, right? And we'll see if they want to participate. Because I think this is the perfect opportunity to do that. You guys agree with that?
Yeah, sure.
All right, any questions from anyone in regards, I hope you guys got something today about open houses. Anybody have any questions about open houses? Anyone want to unmute online?
I love it.
I love that, Barbara.
Hey, even this old dog learned a couple of new tricks. So
Yes, I did.
I-
Couple of new tricks. And with the community, I think North Shore is a good one too, because we have things spread out. We have the golf course, we have the community center with the pool, we have the dock with the, the dog park and the dock out there. So it's like so separate. So you have somebody you will have to have like 4 people in the different areas of it.
Imagine though, that would be a great open house though, right?
Yep. I love it.
I love it. All right, so we're gonna look at putting one together in like 2 weeks. A virtual open house with the team. Everybody in?
Yep.
Yes. Good. Okay, so we're gonna get everybody send in your information. If you have flags, if you have signs, if you have cool things, I'm gonna send out an email with all of that and ask who wants to participate with our virtual open high-end, our luxury virtual open house that we'll be doing. Okay, what day do we think we should do it on? A Friday, and during the week, and
2
Monday?
weeks, we have those Thanksgiving luncheons on Wednesday. and
So let's do it on a
Thursday,
Monday.
so
How about a Monday?
The Monday, the 18th.
We could do it on a Monday at like 10 or whatever.
Because that's the day of the Brokers Open. I will be at that house. I
Oh,
can really do a
that's
virtual thing
perfect.
and get people to.
Yeah.
That works for me.
What do I have?
California.
Well, I can't reach my computer. So maybe we'll look at doing Monday, the 18th. And remember, Wednesday, the 20th is Giving Thanks Luncheon here in Dr. Phillips. Everyone's invited. It doesn't matter what office you're affiliated with. You're affiliated with the entire team. You can come to all of them with me. Eat a lot of turkey. Thursday is Lake Nona's Giving Thanks, and Friday is Ocala and the villages. So feel free to give thanks everywhere. I will be giving a lot of things. So, and then remember today at 4 o'clock is our first ever vendor event. So looking forward to seeing everyone there. Thank you all for coming. It's been a great, I hope you enjoy, agree with me, a great open house panel. Thank you all ladies for joining. They have been wonderful and I look forward to seeing you all later. Have a great day.